Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. In Shakespeare's sonnet, the fragility of love is compared to the fleeting English summer. This year, in the town of his birth, they're wondering whether summer will come at all.
Incredibly difficult. Yeah, I think our April we were 98% down on our regular taking. The other problem, obviously, with the tourist business and a business like this is we have 6 months where we take kind of 80% of our income, and so far we've lost 3 of those this year.
At Hooray's ice cream parlour, owners Sasha and her mum SARA say the government's plan to quarantine most people arriving in the country from Monday could spell the end of their business.
I mean, nobody's going to come on holiday if they've got to stay in one place for 2 weeks, are they? So yeah, international tourism is big in Stratford. We have a lot of tourists every year. It's why we've got so many small businesses, because the tourists keep us going.
If William Shakespeare were alive today, he might have turned COVID-19 into an opportunity. He did, after all, produce some of his greatest and darkest works while under lockdown himself at home during successive outbreaks of the bubonic plague in the late 16th and early 17th century. For Shakespeare, deadly disease had drama and tragedy written all over it. But the actors and theatre companies given life by his works, now as then, face financial ruin.
Yeah, we're sure that Shakespeare really understood both the emotional difficulties of being in lockdown and the economic difficulties. He had some options that are even harder for us right now. So often when the theatres were closed in London, they would go off on tour because they would find that actually transmission wasn't as bad outside London. Of course, a global economy means that transmission has been the same everywhere. So we haven't got some of the options he had. But we do have his plays. The play that I was rehearsing just before we had to close the theatres, The Winter's Tale, was almost certainly written in a time of lockdown because of plague. And it really speaks of healing that can happen after a long period of not being able to do what you want to do.
Plagues have come and gone. Theatre and Shakespeare's plays survived. Above all today, he might have urged patience. Come what come may, says Macbeth, time and the hour runs through the roughest day. Jonah, Al Jazeera, Stratford-upon-Avon.